Hello friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 10th of March and we are going to cover two very important topics which are in news. The first is the Sela tunnel. This tunnel is built between Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. This tunnel will bring all-weather connectivity between Guwahati and Tawang. Tawang, which is located at a very strategic location on the LAC. In the 1962 war with China, we lost that war, and one of the most important reasons identified for our loss was lack of border infrastructure. Sela Tunnel is one such border infrastructure which will not only enhance border connectivity but will also enhance India's capacity to face China in times of war or in times of crisis. This is the world's largest tunnel which is built at such an altitude, and it is basically byways, means there's one way for going, another way for coming. Next is indigenous fifth generation fighter jet, the advanced medium combat aircraft. The Cabinet Committee on Security has passed this proposal of developing this fifth generation aircraft indigenously. Earlier in 2007, we came in contract with Russia for this purpose, but in 2018, we nullified this contract and decided to build it indigenously. What is fifth generation aircraft? This is having extraordinary stealth capabilities, means it will not be detected in radars of the enemies. Will India be the first country to have these kind of fighter jets? No. The United States of America, China and Russia are already having fifth generation aircrafts. We will be the fourth if we develop this. The timeline has been set for 10 years. Amount allocated is 15,000 crores for this purpose. Now let's get started with the first topic, that is the Sela Tunnel. The Sela Tunnel is built by the Border Roads Organization, BRO. Cost is rupees 825 crore rupees. Aim: providing all-weather connectivity to Tawang across Sela Pass on Balipara-Charidwar Tawang Road, which connects Tezpur in Assam to Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh. Now, Tezpur in Assam also hosts one of the biggest armies, bases in northeast. And military supplies from Tezpur to Tawang with the construction of Sela Tunnel will be eased now. What is the purpose of constructing this tunnel? Basically, the purpose is one and only, that is to increase our connectivity or to boost our connectivity to the Indo-China border, that is the LAC. Earlier it used to take time. There was already a route there connecting Tezpur and Tawang. Actually, there were two routes which were connecting Tezpur and Assam. On one of the routes was this Sela Pass. This Sela Pass, actually, when it snowed during the winter months, this pass was inaccessible, thereby restricting our movement towards Tawang or cutting off Tawang from us. Now with the construction of the Sela Tunnel, this situation, whether it snows, it rains, anything happens, we will be able to reach Tawang. Military supplies will be able to reach Tawang. That is the main purpose. That is why it is mentioned that providing all-weather connectivity, whether it be summers, monsoons, winters, spring, any season, you'll be able to go to Tawang. Earlier, during the winter months when it snowed, you were not able to go. Now, this particular tunnel is basically, there are two tunnels in this. Tunnel 1, which is here, of approximately 1 kilometer, 1003 meters. Then, after that, 1595 meters, means approximately 1.5 kilometers. So there are two tunnels which are part of this Sela Tunnel. Earlier we used to take this route. This was long to reach Tawang. This is going towards Tawang. But now you start from here, you take this route, you bypass all of this longer route and you reach Tawang. That is the main benefit of this. The route is shorter and there is all-weather connectivity. So we get to understand this in a much clearer picture. See, this is the route which we can take. Tunnel 1 is over here, Sela Tunnel. Then tunnel 2, which is the longer of these two tunnels. These two combined are called as Sela tunnel. This will give all-weather connectivity to Tawang. So earlier route was this, you had to go from here, then Sela Lake was here, then this region, when it snowed, so at that time it was inaccessible. The Sela Pass is over here, it became inaccessible during the winter months. But with the construction of these tunnels and all, now all-weather connectivity is established. Now significance. Now Tezpur to Tawang. Tezpur, remember, military base, one of the biggest in northeastern region, has three major passes. One of the passes Nechiphu Pass, second is Bomdila, and third is Sela Pass. Now the road passing through the Bomdila was kept open throughout the year. This was not a problem. Bomdila was not a problem. The problem was Nechiphu and Sela. There were foggy stretches at Nechiphu. So in 2023, a tunnel was built over there also. The defense minister inaugurated the tunnel. Nechiphu tunnel it is called as 2023. And Sela, now 2024, the prime minister has inaugurated this. The foggy stretches at Nechiphu and snow at Sela, that would cut off Tawang. So here it snowed, and here there were foggy conditions due to which accessibility to Tawang was a big question. The Nechiphu tunnel built in 2023 solved that problem of foggy conditions. Sela tunnel now built solved that problem of inaccessibility due to excess snow. The Sela tunnel thus will be a major boost to India's operational preparedness along the LAC, that is line of actual control, aiding quick military mobilization to the bordering Tawang sector, saving nearly 10 kilometers of road distance, translating into almost an hour of travel time for convoys, and providing all-weather connectivity. So it is saving time, it is shorter route, and it is most importantly providing all-weather connectivity. Heavy artillery guns can be transported through this tunnel, means heavy traffic can also go. Is this the first tunnel project connecting the Indo-China border? No. As I already told you, the Nechiphu tunnel inaugurated by Defense Minister in last September, that is September 2023, was another project. Both the tunnels would provide all-weather connectivity to Tawang, bypassing foggy stretches. Now, is Tawang so important that we built two tunnels in a very short span of time to reach Tawang? Actually, yes, Tawang is that important. So why is Tawang important? We need to answer this. First of all, Tawang lies in Arunachal Pradesh. China considers Arunachal Pradesh as part of it. It calls Arunachal Pradesh as south of Tibet. Tibet is part of China. Tawang also has historical connections with Lhasa. Lhasa is basically in Tibet. One of the Dalai Lamas was born in Tawang before 1913. That is when the McMahon line was drawn. McMahon line basically is that part of LAC which divides or which demarcates a border between India and China over there. So the Arunachal Pradesh China border is known as McMahon line. That line was drawn in 1913. Before that, Arunachal Pradesh, so-called today's Arunachal Pradesh, was part of China at that time. So China lays claims over it, and it is still laying claim over it. It is very strategically important for us also. Why? Because if we give Arunachal Pradesh to China today, then tomorrow we might have to lose out on the entire Northeast. The entry point, one of the entry points, I would say, in Arunachal Pradesh is Tawang. From Tawang, they can reach to Tezpur. From Tezpur, they can easily reach to the Chicken Neck Corridor or the Siliguri Corridor, which is strategically very important, which will strategically, if it comes under control of China, it will cut off the only land connectivity route from mainland India to northeast India. So that is why this is very, very important. During the 1962 India-China war, China had captured Tawang in the first few days of the war only. Tawang's historical significance lies in it being the birthplace of the sixth Dalai Lama, making it an important seat of Tibetan Buddhism after Lhasa. Lhasa is there in Tibet, now part of China. Now, from military and strategic point of view, Tawang provides geographical access up to the Brahmaputra plains and provides the shortest access to Tezpur. Tezpur, where that military base is there in Assam. The lines of communication from Tawang stretches to Guwahati and extend to the Siliguri corridor, amplifying its military importance. Siliguri corridor is that Chicken Neck corridor, which is, I would say, a 23-kilometer wide corridor connecting the northeastern region with mainland India, the only land connectivity route. So definitely Tawang is very important. It was lost in 1962 war, but it was gained back because there was a compromise or a settlement where Aksai Chin was handed over. Aksai Chin is there in the northeastern part of Jammu and Kashmir, bordering Ladakh region. That was handed over to China and Arunachal Pradesh, given back to India. So it was like this. But yes, one learning which we had to take from the 1962 war was the lack of infrastructure which we had to focus upon. And unfortunately, it took us so long to increase our focus upon border infrastructure, especially with respect to China. Because now we are seeing the Sela tunnel or the Nechiphu tunnel coming up, or border roads coming up in the Ladakh region or in Uttarakhand. Road construction is happening. What were we doing from 1962 till now? So that is a major, I would say, issue we should look into, and we should keep on expediting border infrastructure projects like these. Next is indigenous fifth generation fighter jet. We've named it as Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft. This is a generic name, but yes, a proper name would be given to it. The Cabinet Committee on Security this week cleared rupees 15,000 crore project to design and develop advanced medium combat aircraft, India's fifth generation fighter multi-role fighter jet. Now, who will design and develop these? Basically, the Aeronautical Developmental Agency, which is under the DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization, will be the nodal agency for executing the program and designing the aircraft. It will be manufactured, once the designing and all is done, it will be manufactured by HAL, that is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Truly indigenous it will be. So it is like this. Features. Now we've read that this is the fifth generation fighter jet. Fifth generation fighter jet's unique feature is that there are extraordinary or exceptional stealth features in this. Stealth means you do not get detected by the radars of the enemy nations or by the radars of other countries. Can that be possible? Yes, that is possible. Because 3 countries in the world have already developed the fifth generation fighter jets. These 3 countries are the US, the China and Russia. Now China has developed it, is a major cause of concern for us. And we definitely need to develop it. We already started about this fifth generation fighter jets in 2007, and we also struck a deal with Russia that we will co-develop this, since Russia already had that technology. But in 2018 we called off that deal and decided that indigenously we will be going on for developing this. But anyways, let us look into the features of this. The 25-ton twin-engine aircraft, which will be bigger than other fighters in Indian Air Force inventory, will have advanced stealth features to avoid detection by enemy radar. How it will detect, we will see a bit. Fuel and weapon. The aircraft will have a large concealed internal fuel tank of 6.5 ton capacity and an internal weapons bay, a range of weapons including indigenous weapons to be buried in its belly. Now, when I talk about the engine, the AMCA MK1 variant will have the US built GE414 engine. The engine will be imported, the 90 kilonewton class, while the more advanced AMCA MK2 will fly on more powerful 110 kilonewton engine, which will be developed indigenously by DRDO's Gas Turbine Research Establishment in collaboration with a foreign defense major. And who is going to be that foreign defense major? Talks are going on with France's Safran SA, one of the world's largest manufacturers of aircraft engines and related equipments. So, that in advanced stages, the engine will be indigenously manufactured, but as of now, it will be GE414 engine imported from the USA. Now, last year, that is 2023 June, the Indian Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, visited USA, and at that time, this deal was signed with USA that it will be supplying us with GE414 engines. This GE414 engine will also be used in the light combat aircraft Tejas. Now, why AMCA is special? See, AMCA is special due to its stealth capabilities. Okay. Now, second of all, it is special because it is being indigenously developed. Apart from the engine, yes, everything is indigenously developed. We already have LCA Tejas. This is also, indigenously developed light combat aircraft. That is 4.5 generation. That is not 5th generation. So it is like this. So it is going to be special. Now, difference between 4th and 5th generation. Basically, the primary difference is the stealth features. The 5th generation fighter jets have low electromagnetic signature, and since this electromagnetic signature is low, it is difficult to get detected in the radar systems. Now, there can be developments by the countries in the radar systems also. The radar systems can become so advanced that they are able to catch the 5th generation fighter jets or those fighter jets with low electromagnetic signatures. But as of now, they are not developed. As of now, 5th generation aircrafts are developed, which do not get detected, but that kind of technology is not developed in the radars which can detect low electromagnetic signatures or 5th generation aircrafts. Now, how this stealth will be maintained or how this stealth will be achieved? First of all, internal weapons bay. The weapons will be internally located and internally placed, and when the weapons are internally placed, they will not be visible. So those visible weapons are easily detectable by the radars. That will give some stealth features. A bigger internal fuel tank will be there. This will also not be visible. Up to 4 long-range air-to-air missiles and multiple precision-guided munitions can be carried in the internal weapons bay with a payload of 1500 kgs. So weapons up to 1500 kgs can be, carried in that internal weapons bay, which will not be visible. Then a special material that will be used on the aircraft surface will divert the radar signatures instead of reflecting it back. Now the radar signals, when they are reflected back and then they are received by the radar, then only these unidentified objects, they are identified. But the radar signals will come on this aircraft. They will be diverted. They will be diverted due to these special material which will be used, and they will not go back to the radar systems, and hence they will not be able to detect. So all these things, internal weapons bay, internal fuel tank, special material which will divert the radar rays, they will make it more and more, I would say, stealth. That will increase the stealth. Now at the same time, it will have powerful sensors and new weapons, so it is able to register the signature of enemy aircraft and take them out. So latest sensors and more high precision weapons will be also installed in it. That is why it is making it better than a 4th generation or 4.5 generation aircrafts which are already existing. Then a higher utilization time and smaller serviceability or maintenance periods is also the thing which makes it unique and special. That serviceability time is very less. Maintenance costs are very less in such kind of aircrafts. So these things definitely make it more special and something which India desperately needs. Indian Air Force, how many of the aircrafts does it have? It has less. So the development timeline has to be more and more streamlined. Now, following this Cabinet Committee on Security approval, which had been pending for more than a year, the ADA, Aeronautical Development Association, hopes to have the first flight of aircraft in 4.5 to 5 years from now. Full development is expected in 10 years. 5 prototypes will be built before HAL begins manufacturing the aircraft. This 5 prototypes, 4.5 to 5 years, means when the first flight will take place, will happen. And once these prototypes are tested and the flaws are identified, the flaws are plugged, then that will go to HAL for mass production. So, in all this process, it will take approximately 10 years for the Indian Air Force to adopt them. Now, which countries have built the 5th generation aircrafts? I've already told you 3 countries have it: USA, China and Russia. And if no other country before 2034-35, because 10 years it will take, develops it, India will be the 4th on the list. If someone like France or some other country develops this, then they will be the 4th. But yes, India is definitely going to be there in the list because the work on this has started. There are certain challenges which the Indian Air Force has been experiencing, and the challenges are that there are less number of fighter jets with the Indian Air Force. The present sanctioned strength is 42, but there are only 30 fighter jets as of now. 30 fighter squadrons as of now. Now this number is expected to go further as squadrons of MiG-21, MiG-29, Jaguars and Mirage 2000 are scheduled to be phased out by the middle of next decade. Means by 2035 they all have to be phased out. Means we would be needing more and more squadrons. The IAF has indicated that it requires 7 squadrons of AMCA to begin with. And even if these 7 squadrons of AMCA will be inducted in the Indian Air Force, then also there will be shortage. We will not be able to meet this figure. And this figure can also increase in the times to come. You never know. We have such good friendly neighbors like China and Pakistan. I hope you understand the sarcasm over here. So, it is like this. So, these are the challenges of Indian Air Force which have to be met. More and more indigenous development of fighter jets have to be there. And we can definitely go for purchasing like we've done in the case of Rafale or MiG or Sukhoi. But, that is not sustainable, I would say. Atmanirbharta here is also a very, very key component. And we've taken the right step in the right direction by deciding that we are going to develop this 5th generation aircraft indigenously. This will be more sustainable, I guess. So, with this, I come to end of today's session. I will be meeting you tomorrow now with more such informative news pieces. Till then, you guys very well know what to do. Keep studying, keep reading, keep writing, and most importantly, keep revising. Namaste. Jai Hind.